All right, so we are on lesson 3 of 4, not of 6. No worries, no Mahlubi, hello. Lovely to have you with us. And today we're going to do a very quick recap of the midpoint formula, and then we're going to continue on where we were. Now, I'm going to remind you guys quickly that the midpoint formula says if I've got x1 plus x2, I'm going to take both of them, add them together, and divide them by 2. Same with y1, with the y coordinates, y1 plus y2 over 2. So I want us to use this formula to calculate for number 3 and number 4. I'm not going to worry about 5 and 6 because this is a recap of what we did in the lesson before. Okay. So if you guys can pop your answers for 3 and 4 in the chat for me. Remember, again, our midpoint is going to give us another coordinate. So the answer that we're going to get is m, and we're going to get an x value and a y value. We must get 2 values for that. Okay. Just make sure that you're remembering that we're going to get 2 values, excuse me. Sure. Okay, you guys have got 2 minutes to find me the answer for these because today we're moving on to something new, hey? Alicia says, I don't know what's going on. Hi, go. Alicia, you were here last week, Wednesday, I'm pretty sure. Okay, remember, we're going to name this x1 and x2 and y1 and y2. All right, don't stress. We're just going to do a quick plug and play. Okay, so we're going to go m is equal to, open brackets, our x1 value is -2 plus our y1 value, which is -7 divided by 2. And then we're going to look for our y coordinate. Our y1 value, let me not lie. Look at what I did, guys. Nobody even corrected me. Yeah, x1 and y1, x2 and y2. Oh my goodness. Plus -7. And then my y1 value is 9 plus my y2 value, which is 7 over 2. And Asavuya has already gotten the answers for me. All right, and excellent. Mirula's also got them. Hello, Mirula. Great to have you with us again. -2 plus -7 will give us -9 over 2, comma. 9 plus 7 will give us 16, divided by 2 will give us 8. So that's the answer we should get. We should get -9 over 2 and 8. That is our coordinate. All right, and that's how we find those two. We just plug the 2 things in, and then we get an answer. Asavuya's also got an answer for number 4 for us. I want to see more people giving us an answer for number 4. Okay, go ahead and calculate for the answers for me, please, guys. So why not 16 over 2? Because we do have an answer for 16 over 2. Okay, so 16 divided by 2 is in fact 8, but -9 over 2 is going to give us a decimal. Okay, so we don't want the decimal. We just want the, so if the fraction cannot be simplified, don't simplify it. Okay, but 16 over 2 is always going to give us 8, so we can simplify it. Okay. I hope that makes sense. Excellent. All right, Samuel's also given us an answer for number 4, and so has Twanelo. Thank you so much, Twanelo. Twanelo's given us all his names. Love it. Love, love, love it. That's okay, Alicia. Thank you, Hope. Excellent stuff. 1 more second, no, 10 more seconds, guys. Well done, Hasna, that's it. All right, I'm quickly going to go through the question or the answer. M, open brackets, and then I'm going to take my x values, that is 5 plus -3 over 2, and my y values will be 10 plus 6 over 2. put those all together equals, my m coordinates would be 5 minus 3, which is 2, divided by 2 would be 1. And on this side, 10 plus 6 is 16 divided by 2, which is in fact 8. All right. Those of you who are joining us for the first time and you're probably thinking to yourself, ma'am, what Kanan? Don't stress. The recordings to the lessons that we're doing now are available on the website. Okay, so if you're not 100% understanding what I'm doing, we've gone through this in the lesson right before this one, last week, Wednesday's lesson. And you can find all those recordings on the website. Okay, so you can head over to the website and have a look at those as well. All right, okay, we can get into today's work. Let's get into today's work. All right, I'm just going to do this because I can see some people still writing. Okay. All right, today we're going to be learning about the gradient formula. Okay, now the gradient formula, much like the distance formula and the midpoint formula, is just us plugging in things. Okay, we're going to plug things in. Okay, now what gradient does, gradient tells us about how steep a line is. Okay, now let me ask you guys a question. Let's say, for instance, I'm on a flat road and I'm riding a bike. Now, you guys are going to forgive my drawing. Okay, that's what a bike looks like in Teacher Coco's world. No judgment. Okay. Jasmine is like, nope. Okay, take a quick screenshot, Alicia, let's go. Emilio is like, looks like a sausage dog. Hey, guys, I'm a maths teacher. Hey, I'm a maths teacher. All right. Yes, Jasmine.
It's okay though. I just didn't mean to. I was just trying to be funny as usual.
I hadn't even drawn it yet, Jasmine, and you were already like, nope. I'm like, ah. Oh.
It does look like a cute dog though.
It's Jasmine, it's a bike. It's a bike. Don't do this to me. I can't believe you guys. Okay. Okay. Because people are wondering, it's a bike. It's a bike. Murula, don't even. Don't even. Okay. It's a bike. A dog on wheels. Emilio, how dare you? All right, guys. Okay. Let's get back to the idea. Alicia, you're the worst. Okay, so we're going to pretend it's a bike, okay? It's a bike. And what we're going to do with this bike is we're going to be riding on a line like this, right? So let's say, for instance, if you ride one of those Peloton bikes at the gym, you are now riding. Thank you, Teacher Nelly. Teacher Nelly's always been on my side. Thanks, Hope. Okay, so let's say you're riding on level 1 because it's just a straight line. You're just riding on level 1. What's going to happen, guys, if I start riding like that? What's my level of difficulty going to look like? Is it still going to be at a 1? Give me an example. Like, is it still going to be at a 1 or is it going to be a little bit harder? It's not going to be at a level 1 because a level 1 would be when I'm here. Right, when I'm straight. Good. Amber is like, maybe it would be at a 3. Good. So my level of difficulty would be maybe at a 3. Right. What if the steep hill starts looking like that? What level of difficulty are we looking at now? Maybe a 6 or a 10. That's it, Ayaz. Good. Or a 5 or an 8. I like 8. 8 seems about, yeah, possibly 7 or 8. Samuel, you're giving me PTSD. Samuel's like stage 9. Don't do it. Don't do it. Okay, good. So basically, the level of difficulty is kind of like the steepness of our gradient. Right, or our graph. So if we look at what's happening down here, let's look at what's happening on this line over here. We know that this gradient over here is going to have a smaller gradient than a graph that looks like that. Are we in agreement? Give me a thumbs up if you agree with me. because this here is going to be easier than climbing up that. Okay, good. Now, what if my gradient was here, or what if my line was here? Would my gradient be bigger or smaller at that point? Would my gradient be bigger or smaller? Good, Ayaz, you've got it, 100%. It would be smaller. At this blue line, the gradient would be smaller, right? Smaller. Okay, and we're going to say maybe the red line is medium. And then on this side, maybe this one is high. It's on high level or expert level or something like that. What if, though, what if my line, let's say, for instance, we're still talking about my bike, but what if my bike is coming from this direction? What if my bike is coming from that direction? What do we know about a bike coming down a slope? What do we know about it? Do you really, it's going fast, number one. Yes, Tiana, what else do we know? How much energy are you even using?
Ma'am, isn't it like decreasing?
Good, it's decreasing. Are you pedaling? Are you using any of your energy to do it?
No, the bike is just going down.
You just let it go, right? So we can say that a line that's coming from this direction would be a negative. You agree? Because when it's coming down in this direction, you don't even have to do anything. In fact, the bike does all the work for you. Take a bit of a vacation. So if a line is coming this way, like from here going this way, it would have a decreasing gradient. So my gradient will be negative. Okay, mashallah, yes. So not so much a decelerate, but a decrease in the energy that you use. Okay, so decreased energy. All right, Akahang was saying you're not following. Okay, I think Akahang, you may have come in like 2 minutes too late. I hope not. Okay, but the point I'm trying to make here, guys, is that if my line is facing this direction, I'm definitely using energy. So I'm going to get a positive gradient because of positive energy. But if my graph is coming down this way, I'm going to get a negative gradient because I'm not using any energy at all. Can I get a thumbs up? Does everybody understand what I'm saying? Alusha's like, should we draw the bike? If you can draw one better than me, a day. Okay. Emilio, I know you draw anime. Don't rub it in my face. I never said I was an artist, guys. I'm a maths teacher. Okay, excellent. All right. So we're okay with negative and positive gradients. Excellent. We're off to a great start. Babalwa, if you give me a thumbs down, you need to tell me where did I not understand you. Thang is cheating. That one was already made for you. All right. Now let's look at calculating the gradient because that's the easy part. That's the easy part here. All right. The gradient, when we look at it when we're calculating for it, guys, remember when we're doing the midpoint, we used a capital letter M. A capital letter M is for midpoint. Okay. Capital letter M is for midpoint. Now, small letter m is for gradient. So we're going to use small letter m for gradient. Okay. That's okay, Babalwa. Just hold on and I'm going to explain. We're going to do something very simple. Okay, so we're going to do the exact same thing that we've done in all the other questions, guys. We're going to name A. I'm going to take this one and call this one X1 and Y1. And I'm going to go to the B values and I'm going to name this X2 and Y2. Right. And I'm going to do the same thing, guys. I'm going to go gradient M is equal to my Y2 value, which is 11, minus my Y1 value, which is 5, over my X2 value, which is 4, minus my X1 value, which is 1. And that is equal to 11 minus 5 will give me 6, divided by 4 minus 1, which is 3. So my gradient is 2. My gradient is positive, guys. Does this make sense? Look at the steepness of my graph. Does it make sense that my gradient is positive 2? Look at my line. Absolutely, Naledi. Yes, Courtney. I should be able to get a positive answer because my gradient means I have work to do. It's going up. There's definitely work to do. It's increasing. That's it, Emiche. Excellent. Now, I want you to use this exact same idea that we just used, and I want you guys to calculate the gradient of this part. Do this question. Do question B for me. I'll even name them for you if you want. X1, Y1, X2, Y2. Pop your answer in the chat. I'll give you guys a few minutes. Yo, Esona's done. You guys are wasting time, yay? But Esona, you need to check your answer. Check your answer again. Go, if you're done, pop your answer in the chat. Okay. Namisile, I agree with you and with Asavuya. You guys are excellent. That's it, Emiche. Good. See, Elusha was like, yo, I'm behind. That time he did this at school. Well done, Christina. That's it. That's it, Twanelo. Excellent. Well done, Lusanda. So we're just going to go M is equal to Y2, which is 8, minus Y1, which is 0, over X2, which is 6, minus X1, which is 4. That's going to give me 8 over 2. Therefore, my gradient will be equal to 4. All right. I don't think this is particularly a hard concept to understand. Okay. Again, look at the steepness of this graph. Look at the steepness of this graph. Does it make sense that this one is bigger than this one? Does it make sense that the value of that other one is bigger than the value of the other? Is it making sense? Absolutely. Because the other one you can see with the question for B, my work, the energy that I have to put in. Yes, it's steeper, Sange. So yeah, I have to like do a lot of work to get over this hill on my bike. So the steeper the line, the greater the gradient. Okay, excellent. I'm glad we're all on board. I'm going to give everybody 5 minutes, or maybe even less, because you guys are so excellent at this. I'm going to give you guys 5 minutes to do A, B, C, and D. Now, bear in mind, the formula says the gradient M is equal to Y2 minus Y1 over X2 minus X1. My goodness, Alusha's like, speaking of bikes, they stole mine yesterday. I'm so sorry. Like, I don't know how you actually want us to deal with this, but I know people who know people, and we can always find your bike, if you know what I mean. I know people who know people who know people. I'm just saying. Okay. All right. And everybody knows by now, everybody knows my favorite emoji. Pop your answer, pop the fire emoji in the chat once you've Akwando, sure, let's say I'm talking about the popo. Maybe I am, maybe I'm not. Who knows? Okay, thank you, Nileti. Apiwa says, ma'am, is there a brain break today? Unfortunately not, my sweetie. There's so much work to get through today. Okay, we're not going to be able to get there. Okay. Thank you, Esther. Thank you, Joe and Twanelo. Remember, guys, don't answer them one at a time. Answer all of them. And when you're done, pop the fire emoji in the chat. No, that's not it. That's not it, Alusha. Thank you, Hasna. All right, guys, remember to answer all of the questions, A, B, C, and D, and then put the fire emoji in the chat for me. Okay. Yo, I'm seeing quite a few fire emojis already. I think you guys are moving at like... And Mirula just has to be controversial again and put an ice cube after I asked for a fire emoji. Yes, winner. Yes, winner. Thanks, Emilio. I know, Hope, they need to slow down a little bit. Thanks, Christina and Imelda. And Namisile and Twanelo, you guys are super duper fast. Ah, okay, so he's trying to cool our mellow. Like, you know, we're feeling lit, and he's just like, nah, cool down, guys. Relax, relax. Oh, Nyeleti. Okay, Naledi says, my emojis aren't working, but I'm dying. I think she meant done. Excellent. Thanks, Amber. All right. I think many of us are at that point where we're done with these. Right. So I'm quickly just going to do a couple of them. I'm not going to do all of them. I'm going to do A and D because I know you guys know how to do them. Okay. Now you can pop your answer for A in the chat for me. AM is going to equal to 10 minus 4 over 3 minus 1. 3 minus 1, and then I still write 2. I'm saying 1, but I'm writing 2. Which is equal to 6 over 2, which is equal to 3. Excellent. 6 over 2, which is equal to 3. Good. That's for A. Pop your answer for D in the chat for me, because I'm about to do D. All right. The answer for D, M is equal to negative 2 minus 6 over 0 minus negative 8. I hope you guys picked up on that. Okay, is equal to negative 2 minus 6 is negative 8 over a negative, and a negative will give us a positive 8. Therefore, M is equal to negative 1. All right. Okay. Before we continue, give me a number out of 10. How confident are we feeling about calculating the gradient, the steepness of the line? Atlechang, you mean the original formula? No. Okay, you don't have to. You can go straight into doing this. Okay, do this. This is important. Okay, you don't have to write this. Somebody's unmuted. I'm going to need them to mute for me. Janelle, is that you? Chloe is like 100 million%. Okay, Askewale, wherever we've lost you, my sweetie, please make sure that you don't leave here without understanding. All right, I'm getting a lot of 10s, and I'm loving that because I now have to complicate your lives just a little bit. If you know anything about Teacher Coco, all right, there's always a but. Yes, it's make sure. And then Alusha's like, Alusha, you're actually DMing me. Hey, make sure you're writing in the everyone chat. All right, let's talk a little bit. What happens when the gradient is given to us? Okay. What happens when the Nyeleti's like, it's always nice at first and then ma'am. All right, if they give us the gradient, what then can we do? All right, we're going to skip question 2 for now. We're not going to answer question 2. Let's look at question 3 really quickly. All right. Ah, Chloe, I'm so glad. All right, Mamani, we're not there yet. Okay, we're still looking at just the gradient. Now, let's read question 3 quickly, guys. Now, remember that the gradient is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. All right, remember that as we go through this question. Now the question says, the line passing through 5 and negative 2 and 8 and C has a gradient of 3. Find C. Now, I want you guys to note what they've actually done here. They've given us x1 and y1, and then they've given us x2 x2 and m. They've given us the gradient. So what do they actually want us to calculate for, guys? Tell me in the chat. What do they want us to calculate for? What is C? In terms of our formula, what is C? That's it. They want us to calculate for y2. That's the thing that's missing. y2 is missing. So we're going to take the formula as we know it, and we're going to substitute in to calculate for y2. So let's do exactly that. I'm going to go y2, which is C, minus y1, which is -2, over x2, which is 8, minus x1, which is 5, is equal to my gradient. And I know that my gradient is 3. And then we're going to clean it up a little bit. Negative and a negative will give us a positive. So I'm going to have C plus 2 over 8 minus 5 is 3 is equal to 3. My next step. What is my next step, guys? I want to get rid of that divide by 3. What do I then need to do? Good. We can cross multiply in this case, or we can multiply both sides by 3. Whether you cross multiply or you multiply both sides by 3, not an issue for me. I like multiplying by 3 on both sides. That somehow for my brain, it works. But if you cross multiply, we're going to end up in the same place. Then I will get C plus 2 is equal to 3 times 3, which is 9. What is my next step, guys? What's my next step? Oh, not grouping. Yes, Tiana.
Ma'am, must put a 2 over and say minus.
That's it. I'm going to take the 2 over. So what's my answer? What's my answer actually?
Our answer is 7.
2? That's it. It's equal to 7. 100%, dude. Wow. Well done. All right. Give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up. Are we okay with this? Everybody okay with this? I feel like it's actually quite easy. I know I said but it's not that difficult, not at all. All right. So with that being said, for those of you who are like, ma'am, you said you were going to challenge us. What is this? For those of you who understand what's happening, I want you guys to try question 4, question 5, and question 6. For those of you who are still not with me, I want you to put your hand up for me, and we're going to do question 4 together slowly. Everybody else, use that lightning speed brains that you guys have got. Go for it. But we're going to have a conversation, me and whoever doesn't understand. If you do not understand, please raise your hand for me, and we'll have a bit of a conversation. So I saw you kind of giving me a, what's going on? What's going on? Okay. Is everybody okay? If everybody's okay, then I'm going to give everybody about 5 minutes to answer each of these questions. When you're done, pop your favorite emoji in the chat. Okay. Pop any emoji that you would like in the chat. Remember, guys, 1 emoji. So make it a good one. Make it a good one. Alicia, have I not? Can you not see the question? I think I've put the question up. Okay, fine. I'm never minding. Sure. All right. Whenever you're done, guys, remember, these are simple. There isn't really much happening here. Don't stress. Yo, Hussein is already done. Yo, my dude, well done. Mirula, what is with that emoji? We're almost done. Then you can go to sleep. Lucia, really? Akwando is showing. Is that a pregnant lady? Thanks, Christina. Thanks, Courtney. Tarika, I love yours. A pregnant man, or is that a food baby? I think it's a food baby. I know. Jump scare. Nice one, Hope. Thanks. Hasna, what's with the skeleton? What is with the skeleton? Nice one, Namisile. I go back where I like that one. I do. Yes, a whole goat. A whole goat. A piwe with a bone. Oh, love it, guys. Love it. I think it's a beer belly, Akwando. I agree. It might be a beer belly. Tonelo, huh? To you too. Esona, what is going on? Guys, your emojis are just, they're my whole life. Crispy, juicy, tender. I just put my newborn son into Haibo, and I read that out loud. Emilio, you need to give us a warning. You need to give us a warning. Yes, Jasmine.
Ain't the chat supposed to be regarding guac?
I know. I'm watching Emilio. You know, you must tell them, Jasmine. I'm watching Emilio and Alusha telling us about putting kids in blenders, and I'm like, what does that have to do with maths?
It doesn't concern maths at all.
Yeah. You need to tell them. Like, go into the chat and be like, yay, ma'am said. You must let them know.
I'm a straightforward person. Like, I'll say it how it is.
Absolutely. Tell them. In fact, Emilio, I hope you're listening. Tiana, what's up, my sweetie?
Ma'am, so I have a question. Oh, I'm starting to sound like Jason. But anyway, ma'am, so
yes.
Now, what if we must divide something by the numbers on top? It's not under. Do we like divide it by the other number? Like, I think it was like it's.
Okay, I see. Your problem was with number 5, yes? I think your problem is at number 5. Is that correct? Yana, where did you go?
Yes, it is, ma'am.
It's with number 5. All right, we're going to talk about number 5. Actually, right now, because we've kind of run out of time. Okay, I'm going to address it right now as we speak. Okay, give me a couple seconds, I'll get it.
Okay.
Cool. All right. Okay. I'm guessing everybody was okay with number 4. Number 4 wasn't an issue because we were all able to figure out how to do this one. We just done it with ma'am. So it's not difficult. Let's have a look at number 4. So I know my formula, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1 is equal to m. So I'm going to substitute in. I'm going to get h minus -9 over -2 minus -8 is equal to 4. Let's clean it up. We're going to get h plus 9 over -2 plus 8 is equal to 4. All right, so h plus 9 over 6 is equal to 4. And then we're going to multiply both sides by 6. So times by 6 here, times by 6 there, cancel. Therefore, h plus 9 is equal to 24. And then I'm going to take my 9 over, and it'll become -9. So I will have h is equal to 24 minus 9, which is 50. Give me a thumbs up if you got 15 for h. Did we get 15 for h? Amazing stuff. 100%. Well done. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right. Now we're going to have to talk about number 5. Okay, because what's going to happen is my missing value is going to be in the bottom. So let's see what's going to happen here. I'm just quickly going to erase this. Sorry for anyone who was doing corrections. I will write better. I will write better. All right. Number 5. Now we know my y1 is equal to 10 minus -4 over m minus 3. I almost wrote plus. Minus 3 is equal to 2. Right, let's clean it up a little bit. That's going to be 10 plus 4, which is going to give me 14 over m minus 3 is equal to 2. Okay, and when we get to this point, we realize that the thing that's a problem is in the denominator. So we can do one of two things. We can either look for an LCD. Or we can multiply by m minus 3 on both sides. If we look for an LCD, our LCD would still be m minus 3. It wouldn't change anything. Or what I can do is I can multiply by m minus 3 on this side and multiply by m minus 3 on this side. All right, so we're going to end up with the m minus 3 will cancel, and I will have 14 is equal to 2 times m minus 3. So now what I need to do is a quick distribution. Distribute. I will then get 14 is equal to 2m minus 6. And then I will take my -6 over to the other side and it will become plus 6. So I'd get 14 plus 6 is 20 is equal to 2m. Therefore, m is equal to 10. Okay, so I would divide both sides by 2. Divide by 2, cancel, cancel. M is equal to 10. Now, give me a thumbs up if you managed to get this one correct. Give me a thumbs down if we didn't quite get it. Okay, so I'm getting quite a lot of thumbs up. Mirula, I don't know. I asked for a thumbs up and you're like, is that five fingers up? 5 thumbs up? Hey, I don't know. All right. For those of you who've given me okay, great. Thank you, Mirula. All right. For those of you who gave me a thumbs down, can you please just let me know in the chat if you are confused or if you saw your mistake? Okay, because if you're confused, and I'm going to have to explain it again, which I don't mind, but if you've seen where you didn't quite get it correct and you know what to do now, just let me know in the chat so that I don't have to do the whole thing again. All right, okay. Excellent. Thank you so much, guys. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right, so a lot of the people who gave me thumbs up, like, I saw where I didn't quite do it, ma'am. Okay, which is fine. All right, I'm going to assume that question 6 was nice and easy because question 6 looks like the other one, right? It's just that we're going to be multiplying by something kind of. Oh, Samuel, how did that happen? How did that happen? Okay, let's look at question 6 quickly. So I'm going to go y2n minus 5 over 2 minus -2 is equal to -1/2. That's our gradient now. It's -1/2. So I'm then going to get n minus 5 over 2 minus -2 will give us 4 is equal to -1/2. I'm then going to multiply both sides by 4 times 4 times 4. The 4s will cancel. I will end up with n minus 5 is equal to -2. And then I will bring the -5 over to the other side. And I will end up with n is equal to -2 plus 5. Therefore, n is equal to 3. And Namane, well done. You don't have to bite yourself. Give me a thumbs up if you got this one correct. Are we all good? Okay, this one was nice and fun, I think. It was pretty cool. Okay. Almost, Samuel. Okay, when you say almost, you need to tell me where we didn't quite get it correct. Okay. Alusha, I'm glad you said that. Alusha's like, can we please do something harder? And then as soon as I said, I'm glad you said that, he's like, joking. Sorry, guys, I didn't do it. It was Alusha. It wasn't me. It was Alusha. All right. Okay. All right. Let's talk about. Alusha, you're the problem. Hi, you're the problem. It's you. Okay. Oh, is there another Alusha that we don't know about? All right. Let's talk about parallel and perpendicular lines. Perpendicular lines. All right. Now, I'm going to draw a line, right? I'm going to draw a line. Right. And we're going to say that this line has a gradient of m is equal to 3, right? And then I'm going to draw another line right below this one, like over here. Right. And I'm going to tell you that these two lines, or this line, also has a gradient of m is equal to 3. Now, I'm going to ask you guys quickly. If there are two bikes, and I'm going to draw a bike again, guys, don't laugh at me. Ne? I'm drawing a bike. Okay. If I have a bike, okay. If I have a bike, right, and this bike is on a hill. Guys, it does not look like a dog. I mean, come on, come on. All right, if this bike is going up a hill of level 3, okay, and right next to this bike, there's another bike on another part of the hill. Okay. And it's also going up a hill that has a level 3, right? My question is, yes or no? Oh, yes, thank you, Alusha. I get it now. I get it now. The pedals are missing. There, it's pedaling. There we go. The pedals are missing. Okay. Alusha, don't say that. Alusha's like, your picture looks worse, ma'am. Oh my goodness. All right, here's my question, guys. My question is, will these two bikes, if they're going on the hill, will they ever meet? Is there ever going to be a point where they're driving at the same speed? No. Guys, you guys are so mean. Somebody's like, why are there fans underneath your dogs? Guys, I can't believe you. Good. My lines will never meet. They're never going to meet because both of them are traveling at the same speed on two different hills of the same length, right? They're going to travel together in tandem. What does that tell me, guys? When I look at two lines that are traveling together with the same gradient, what does that tell me about the two lines? That they are 100%. That the bikes are different, no, Mnamani. That the two lines are going to be parallel. Okay. So we can make the conclusion that if I tell you, I'm going to call this AB and I'm going to call this CD. If I say to you that line AB has a gradient of 2, and then I say to you guys that line AB is parallel to line CD, and then I ask you, what is the gradient of line CD? What's my answer, guys? Ayaz didn't even wait for me to finish the question. Think like Ayaz already had 2 put there, and then as soon as I asked it, they went, pop, enter. Good. My gradient is going to be 2. Okay, 100%. Okay. Thank you, Queen Jasmine. Good, because they are parallel, they will have the same gradient. So we're going to write here, parallel lines have the same M. They have the same gradient, same M. Okay, good. But now think about this, guys. 2 bikes, no, actually, no, let me not do bikes. Let me do lines on the Cartesian plane because somebody's going to be saying, ma'am, you drew another rat. Let me draw 2 different lines. Okay. I'm going to draw this line. It's no longer parallel. Now my line is going in this direction. Okay, this is CD. C over there and D over here. Okay. And this, when they cross over here, they make a 90-degree angle. Okay. Now, do we all agree? Give me a thumbs up. CD has a negative gradient. Yes? Yeah, makes perfect sense, right? CD has a negative gradient because you're not doing any work. We're going down, right? So CD is going to have a gradient of negative. And then because if you were going in this direction, you'd be doing 3 times the work. When you're coming down a slope that is negative, you're going to be doing nothing. 1/3 of the work. Your bike is going to be doing 1/3 of what your guy on the other side is doing. Okay, so your bike, when you're going up the hill, is doing 3 times the work, and your gradient that's perpendicular to it is only doing 1/3 of the work. Now, if I said to you guys that my gradient going up is doing 2 times the work, what is my gradient in the perpendicular direction doing? How much? Good, half, but because it's coming down, Nyeleti, you are on point. It's only going to be doing half of the work, but because my gradient is coming down, cool. Because my gradient is coming down, it needs to be -1/2. Okay, good. Okay, are you guys following me there? All right, I'm going to ask another one, Emihle. Here's another question. If my gradient over here is 5, what is this gradient over here going to be? The gradient going in the opposite direction that's perpendicular to it. What is this gradient over here going to be? Nico, not -5, Imelda. You're only doing 1/5 of the work. Your bike is doing 1/5 of the work coming down. So that would be -1/5. Okay, excellent, guys. All right, but I want you guys to note something. Yes, Namisile, if you have a question, my sweetie, can you put your reaction hand up and I will help you with that. All right, I want you guys to note something. If I take this gradient, I'm going to call it gradient 1 and gradient 2. If I multiply them together, m1 times m2, they're going to give me a certain number. Okay, I'm going to go -1/5, that's m1, times 5. What's that answer going to give me, guys? -1/5 times 5 is? Good, Emiche. It is -1. Good, -1. We can test it with all the other ones that we've looked at as well. If my gradient over here is -1/2 and the one over here is 2, Aibo, Alusha. Okay, if I multiply them together, -1/2 times 2, what is my answer? That's it, -1. Okay, so when we are looking at two perpendicular lines, guys, we're going to say that the gradient of the first line times the gradient of the second line must equal to -1. All right, so if I say to you guys over here that this gradient over here is a half. This gradient is the half. What is this gradient over here going to be? Half. No, it's not going to be half. We already know that it's going to be negative, but my answer must be -1. A half times what would give us 1? Guys, a half times something is equal to 1. What is that something? A half times? Good, Liabona. That's it. A half times 2 would give us 1. But we don't want 1. We want -1. So a half times -2 will give us -1. So our second gradient on this side would be -2. Give me a thumbs up if you're with me. We're actually at the end of the lesson, guys.